Hi, I'm Ben Mercer, and this is my second book, Our Race, co-written with Trystan Bevan, and it's about the GB 4x100 metre relay team who won gold at Athens 2004 Olympics, shocking the world, beating the US. It's an underdog story, and this is the first chapter. 2004 Olympic Games, Athens, 10 minutes to go. The fastest men in the world stood in single file, the four of them waiting to show the world just how quickly a human could move. The Athens air was tense with moisture and noise, the teams cramped in a small tunnel waiting to enter the arena. They whooped and called out the other teams, daring them to respond. They'd won everything on offer individually so far at this Games, and now they were going to assert their dominance as a team. No one could touch them. If you did, all you would feel was tight, corded muscle and the iron self-belief of champions, straining beneath their red, white and blue vests. They were Shaun Crawford, Justin Gatlin, Kobe Miller and Maurice Greene, the fastest men in the world. Prior to 2004, the United States of America's men's sprint relay team had been involved in a total of 18 men's sprint final relays held at the Olympic Games, going back to as far as 1920, winning gold in 15 of them. They were utterly dominant. The event had not only become an exhibition of the track and field dynasty, but a final event celebration of supremacy for Team USA. Winning was not only expected, it was expected to be fun. It was expected to be easy. It was their birthright. Who were these unapproachable athletes, these men that no one in the world could keep up with? They were sprint deities, picking up the mantles of men on the Mount Rushmore of sprinting. When your forebears belong in the sporting pantheon, figures like Carl Lewis and Jesse Owens, you arrive with a sense of destiny, a belief and entitlement to one day be spoken about in that company, to become a modern day myth. Their lead-out runner, Shaun Crawford, had recently become the first man in history to break 10 seconds. Their lead-out runner, Shaun Crawford, had recently become the first man in history to break 10 seconds for the 100 metres and 20 seconds for the 200 metres on the same day at an event in Pretoria, South Africa. Crowned Olympic 200 metre champion a few days earlier and finishing fourth in the 100 metres, Crawford had run sub-10 and sub-20 once again, albeit on separate days. V-shaped, looking every inch the superhero, he ran with an implacable expression on his face, fully expecting to beat whoever opposed him, whether those were the rivals he beat to Olympic gold or the zebra he'd raced in a television special a few years earlier. Justin Gatlin was the in-form athlete in the world. Crawford would pass the baton to a man who was not only the newly crowned Olympic 100 metre champion, but also a bronze medalist in the 200 metres. Gatlin would go on to be a 5-time Olympic medalist, the 5th fastest of all time over 100 metres, a renowned drugs cheat, and the man who ended the reign of Usain Bolt. Then, at 6'1" and 23 years old, he had the world at his feet. Gatlin would be taking the baton down the back straight and handing it to Kobe Miller. Miller had recently written himself into the record books as the first ever American athlete to run sub-10 for the 100 metres in the USA Olympic trials and failed to qualify due to the standard of his contemporaries. He was the best of the rest for the Americans, but would have strolled into any other nation's sprint team. He was in Athens with a point to prove. Lying in wait on the last leg was Maurice Greene. The Kansas Cannonball was at 30 years of age, the elder statesman of the quartet, but in an alpha male lineup, he was still at the head of the pack. A 4-time Olympic medalist and 5-time world champion, he'd already equalled the records of two of America's greatest in Carl Lewis and Michael Johnson, his place on the mountain assured. Greene had been the fastest of all time, holding the 100 metres world record between 1999 and 2002, and despite all this, had his own point to prove. At these games, he'd been disappointed with his 100-metre bronze after losing out to teammate Gatlin, and was looking to supplant Team USA's all-time greats with another Olympic gold. A man who had nothing to prove to anyone felt like he did. Even those who didn't make the cut were a frightening prospect. Sydney 100 metres gold medalist Tim Montgomery, future World Championship gold medalist Tyson Gay, and Bernard Williams, a relay gold medalist in 2000 in Sydney and claiming 200 metre silver in Athens. The list went on, but they weren't even here. This was the strength in depth of Team USA. How could anyone else hope to compete?